This walk would be ideal for those who are close to Termini Station and fancy a short walk. It is important because you can visit the place where both Claret and Clotet made the spiritual exercises in Rome with the Jesuits. The itinerary of the fourth walk is from the Basilica of Mary Major, Santa Maria Maggiore, to Vittorio Emmanuele. We start at Santa Maria Maggiore, we pass through Villa Caserta, and we arrive at San Eusebio in Piazza Vittorio Veneto, where our short walk ends. The first place to visit is the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore, where, among others, the remains of Pope Francis are laid to rest. It is the fourth of the major basilicas. It is also called Liberian because it was built by Pope Liberius in 352 at the site indicated to him in a vision and confirmed by a miraculous snowfall on August the 5th.
The present basilica was built in the 5th century, immediately after the celebration of the Council of Ephesus 431, in which the Virgin Mary was proclaimed Mother of God. The mosaics of the triumphal arch and the columns in the aisles of the basilica date from the same period. The central mosaic of the apse, the Coronation of the Virgin, dates from 1295 and is by Jacopo Turriti. The pavement, in cosmatesque style, dates from the 12th century, while the ceiling, gilded it is said with the first gold brought from America, dates from the end of the 15th century and is attributed to Giuliano Sangallo. It bears the coat of arms of Pope Alexander VI. The most famous chapels are those to the right and the left of the high altar, called Sistine and Pauline. In the Sistine Chapel, in Renaissance style, the tombs of St. Pius V and Sixtus V can be seen. The Pauline Chapel, in Baroque style, holds one of Rome's treasures, the icon of the Salus Populi Romani, its patron saint. Under the high altar is the relic of the crib and the wood of the cradle of the child Jesus. The Romanesque bell tower is the highest in Rome, 75 meters.
Apart from the visits that St. Anthony Claret made to this basilica, he also went to pray before the relic of the crib, which, with those who took part in the Act of Atonement in the Church of Santi Quaranta on the 20th of May, 1869. In front of the basilica is Via Merulana, and just a few meters to the left is Villa Caserta. Villa Caserta no longer exists. In its place today, we can see the church of St. Alphonsus Maria de Liguori of the Redemptors. This is where their Genocuria was located. On Monday, August 2nd, 1869, on the feast of St. Alphonsus Liguori, Claret visited here in the palace of Villa Caserta. Claret celebrated Mass in the Church of the Saint next to this palace, but it was not the only time that the Archbishop visited this house. He did so frequently and showed the fathers a particular affection. After the visit to this church of Our Lady of Perpetual Help, where the famous painting is located, turn left into Via Statuta, which leads to Piazza Vittorio Emmanuele. At the end of the street on the left, you can see the church of San Eusebio. It is one of the titular churches of Rome, known perhaps since the 4th century.
The church was renovated under Gregory IX in 1230 and rebuilt in 1711 with a portico on the facade by Stefano Fontana. It has a Romanesque bell tower, visible from the atrium next to the church. The frescoes on the dome are by R. Mengs.
From the house of the professed of the Society of Jesus, next to the church of the Jesuits, Father Claret went to the Jesuit house of San Eusebio. There, he placed himself in the hands of Father Bernardo Hernandez, who directed him in the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius.
He gave me the book of exercises of St. Ignatius, by which I was to make them. He gave me the advice he thought necessary, and I began the exercises.
Says the saint in his autobiography. When he was at the end, the director, observing Claret's excellent qualities and dispositions, suggested that he ask to enter the Society of Jesus. This is how the saint explains it in his autobiography.
Since God our Lord is calling you to the foreign missions, it would be better for you to join the Society of Jesus. Through it, you would be sent and accompanied rather than go alone, which is a very risky thing to do. I replied that I knew that it would be better for me. But what can I do so that the Society will admit me? Then he encouraged me and told me to write a letter to Father General, who lived in the same professed house.
5 years after this event, Jaime Clotet arrived in Rome, also to be ordained. He stayed in this retreat house for 4 or 5 months, during which time he received the diaconate and the priesthood. This is the end of this walk, which, despite being short, is no less important. Nearby is the Vittorio Emmanuele metro station, which can easily take you back home. We hope you have enjoyed the walk.